Israel has recently attacked Iran. Iran is a nation that consistently keeps targeting Israel through its various proxies and is widely considered America's #1 enemy. Operation Rising Lion has specifically targeted it. However, Iran possesses a formidable weapon whose devastating impact wouldn't just be felt by Israel, but would profoundly affect all of Asia. And that critically important weapon is water. This is the Strait of Hormuz, through which more than 3,000 commercial ships carry oil and natural gas from Gulf countries to the rest of the world every month, and Iran controls these waters. The Third World War will start because of water. You must have heard this prediction, and in a way, we can see it coming true. The Israel-Iran war is not like the Russia-Ukraine war, and it's definitely not like the war against Hamas. This war is serious, and it could very well be the beginning of World War III. But the biggest beneficiary of this will be our favorite country, Pakistan. How? To understand, make sure to watch the video till the end. There are all kinds of events happening around the world, but we go beyond the facts to analyze how this will impact your wallet. If you're interested in such intriguing analyses, then click the subscribe button. This seemingly small step can genuinely make you considerably smarter and much more aware about the vast world around you. Break time equals 0.5s/. Sometimes, reading the news can be really depressing. Everywhere around us, in every direction, there's only negative news. Israel versus Iran. Why? A war between Israel and Iran could be the beginning of World War III. Why do I say this? When Netanyahu launched Operation Rising Lion, he told his people to be prepared for a long war. In other words, de-escalation is not even on the agenda. In both countries, there are fewer speeches and more sirens being heard. This isn't just a warning of war. War has already begun. First, let's understand what happened and why it happened. Netanyahu calls Iran the head of the octopus, and its various tentacles are Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, who all join forces to attack Israel. Israel is aggressive. We all know this, but this time, it has done something that hasn't happened in the last 30 years. A direct attack on Iran. On June 13th, Israel targeted Iran's nuclear infrastructure. They destroyed their oil and gas reserves. Mossad targeted their nuclear scientists and military leaders. You already know that Israel is serious, and that Iran runs a proxy war against Israel. It also keeps funding groups like Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis. A country that can trouble a nation like Israel through proxies must itself be quite powerful. And now Iran will be directly involved. Iran is not the type to just sit quietly. Iran launched Operation Severe Punishment. So what did Iran do in response? Let's understand. It unleashed a barrage of ballistic and hypersonic missiles. Cities like Tel Aviv and Jerusalem were targeted, and even the Iron Dome couldn't stop all the missiles. Both countries are attacking each other's capitals as well. Hundreds of people have already died. But here the question arises, why did Israel attack in the first place? Israel's secret service, Mossad, is considered the best secret service in the world. They received information that Iran's secret nuclear program had reached its final stage. And this is dangerous because now Iran could have a nuclear bomb. On June 14th and 15th, the conflict became even more violent over the next 2 days. On Saturday night, an Israeli drone struck Iran's largest gas field, South Pars, which set the refinery there on fire and forced Iran to halt production at this world's largest gas field. Iran's petroleum ministry confirmed that Israel destroyed crucial fuel storage facilities like Shaharan. Israel had never directly attacked Iran's energy infrastructure before. Iran declared that they would retaliate oil for oil, and Iran also attacked the Bazan refinery in Haifa. Israel said that the next strike would directly target Iran's economy. On the 16th and 17th of June, Israel warned its people to be prepared to take cover from Israeli rockets. Homes in Israel have built-in bunkers where people can hide during times of war. But here, Iran did something that no one had expected. They started jamming the GPS systems of ships around the Strait of Hormuz, making it impossible for these vessels to navigate. If Israel is attacking the economy, then Iran wants to drag down the world economy. The Strait of Hormuz is serious business. So much so that even Donald Trump has left the G7 summit and returned to Washington, D.C. On top of that, he has issued a warning: evacuate Tehran. Does America want to get directly involved in this war? I think the answer is yes. At the beginning of the video, I made a big claim that this could be the start of World War III. But any war only becomes a world war when the great powers of the world get involved. And right now, there is only one superpower in the world, America, and one rising power, China. Let's understand the roles of both countries in the next chapter. Chapter 2. America versus China. As usual, America plays a double game. It says that America was not involved in the attack Israel carried out on Iran, but it has also said that America knew about the strike in advance. Wait, are you saying that you knew Israel was doing this and you even gave them permission? What happened to world peace, Mr. Trump? Trump himself has said that both sides should make a deal, but sometimes they have to fight it out first. Don't think, after hearing these words, that this is just a squabble between two brothers over toys. These are two nuclear-powered countries that could go to any lengths to destroy each other. Now, America naturally supports Israel, so they have sent their two aircraft carriers, USS Harry S. Truman and USS Carl Vinson, to the Gulf. KC-135 and KC-46 planes are ready in West Asia, which can refuel fighter jets mid-air. American Navy destroyers have been repositioned in the Mediterranean Sea, which will provide Israel with even more missile defense. In other words, America has taken steps as if this war is its own. America is ready. Recently, what happened was that Houthi rebels in Yemen destroyed an American F-18 Super Hornet jet. These Houthis are the same proxy group that is supported by Iran. After Oman and Iran intervened, the war between America and the Houthis stopped. In other words, America couldn't convincingly defeat even a small rebel group on its own. Since Trump became president, he hasn't had a single successful victory. He couldn't stop the Russia-Ukraine war, nor could he make China back down through the trade war. Now Trump is desperate for a victory at any cost. And targeting the Middle East has always been America's favorite hobby. So America will definitely get involved now. And on the other hand, China won't just sit quietly either. China has already picked its side. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi has stated that such a major attack on Iran is unacceptable and a violation of international law. China wants to use this situation to increase its global clout. Beijing itself wants to become the mediator. China is interested in stopping the war because if a war breaks out, China will be in trouble. Because China has everything else, but there's one thing it doesn't have: oil. China is the world's biggest oil importer. China imports goods worth $220 million from Iran and exports goods worth $688 million to them. That means China has a massive trade relationship with Iran. China is Iran's biggest trading partner, and Iran is essential for China's energy security. In 2021, China promised a $400 billion investment in Iran, and they also signed a 25-year political, strategic, and economic partnership deal. What's really happening is that Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran have formed a new group that's giving the Western powers a hard time. It's called the Axis of Upheaval. But so far, this axis isn't that powerful. They're not ready for an all-out war. They're still looking for more partners. 2 years ago, we made an important video where China itself brokered a friendship between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Now, China will definitely try to do the same with Israel as well. Remember, if China enters a war, it'll do so on its own terms. When it's ready itself, and China isn't ready yet. So the ball is in America's court. If America directly enters this conflict, then China will also have to get involved, and the reason for that is water. Chapter 3, World War Water. If there is a third world war, it will be because of water. Whenever we hear this point, it feels like we're talking about drinking water or river water. But the world is 70% water, and 80% of global trade happens through water routes. We never thought that by choking these trade routes, a war could start, one that begins in the Middle East and spreads across the whole world. Let's focus on the Strait of Hormuz. This is the very choke point that you and I have probably never even heard of. But we've all definitely consumed things that come through here. Almost 20% of the world's total oil consumption, that is, 18 to 19 million barrels of oil per day, passes through this single strait. Iran has already started threatening to block this strait, which would impact the entire Middle East. They have already started jamming the GPS of commercial ships, which is causing oil deliveries to be delayed and prices to rise, because that's the route through which oil is shipped to all Asian countries. So, the impact will be on China, the impact will be on Japan, and of course, the impact will also be on India. If oil prices go up by even $10 per barrel, then our import bill will increase by $15 billion. That means the impact will be on our growth. Let's think about who benefits from this. One of the other major countries in the axis of upheaval is Russia. which can supply oil to the whole world and can use this to force the world to lift the sanctions imposed on it. And this would be Trump's real defeat. Even after becoming president, he wouldn't be able to end the Ukraine-Russia war. On top of that, he would have to lift the sanctions as well. This is the game. And America will not let this happen. The US Fifth Fleet is already stationed in Bahrain, which will not allow this blockade to happen, and America will directly enter this conflict. And this is how a hot world war starts. Chapter 4, Third World War. Now, the clouds of a Third World War are looming over the world because all the requirements have been fulfilled. Teams or alliances have already formed in the world. On one side is the axis of upheaval, and on the other side are all the Western countries. There are aggressive leaders in the world, and nuclear powers are involved in each other's affairs. And America knew that all of this was going to happen. That's why America intervened in the India-Pakistan conflict, so it could use Pakistani territory as its base to keep an eye on Iran, and if it wanted, even attack Iran. Pakistan is that zone on the chessboard that everyone keeps an eye on, and ideologically, whether America agrees with Pakistan or not, for America, Pakistan is an essential partner. India must always remember this. Pakistan is an important country for another reason as well, because it is the only Muslim country in the world that possesses nuclear weapons. And if Iran is unable to complete its nuclear program, it could acquire nuclear weapons from Pakistan. This has even been confirmed by an Iranian general. Pakistan's Shaheen-3 missiles can reach any part of Israel with nuclear weapons. And this is bad news for Israel. It's possible that the recent loan given to Pakistan by the IMF was actually to secure a guarantee that Pakistan won't use nukes against Western allies and won't provide nukes to Iran. But Pakistan is also playing its own double games. Using this as an excuse, it is trying to bring Muslim countries together. The Pakistani defense minister has called for an emergency meeting of the OIC, that is, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. He wants all Muslim countries to unite against Israel. In other words, the Iran versus Israel conflict would get framed as Islam versus Israel. This war gives Pakistan a huge advantage, and that is leverage. And this is very dangerous. So what is important here for India? Iran and Israel may be enemies of each other, but both are close to India. We can't exactly call them friends, but our relations are good. We buy drones from Israel, and we have important projects like the Chabahar port in Iran. In 2024 itself, we signed a 10-year contract with Iran. For us, our interests are what matter most. Speaking of Pakistan, diplomatically, over the past few months, we've presented our point of view and Pakistan's connection to terror before the whole world, and to some extent, this has worked. But Pakistan has something that India doesn't: location, location, and location. And this very location is Pakistan's real leverage. That is, Pakistan's true strength. India, on the other hand, only has virtual advantages. We can say that we are a democracy. We fight against terror. Pakistan sponsors terror. These are all things. These are all facts. But when it comes to a fight between virtue and leverage, leverage always wins. What do you think? Will the world side with India just because it's a democracy? Or will it think about Pakistan, which, if not kept happy, could hand over nukes to Iran in the name of religion? The debate about who's right or wrong will happen later. First, nukes will fall, cities will be destroyed. That's the truth. The way the world is turning, I think India won't be able to afford staying non-aligned for too long. Otherwise, Pakistan will pick a side and India will end up belonging nowhere. We really need to stay alert. And just like we made the right moves in the Russia-Ukraine war by thinking about our own interests, we need to do the same now. This video is to let you know that the stage is set. All the characters in the story are ready. Everyone has picked up their weapons. The conch of war has been blown. Now all that's left is the spark that could burn the whole world to ashes. I hope I'm wrong. I hope nothing like that happens. But if that's not the case, I have a question for you at the end of the video. What do you think? Should we, as a global community, show our unwavering support to Iran or to Israel? This is a truly complex and deeply significant question. Do please let me know your considered thoughts and perspectives in the comments section below, because bringing such important and meaningful discussions directly to you